So this one was actually a bit difficult because it's not more of a game, but it's kind of like a fun sandbox experience, and pretty fun one for that matter. And as you already know, in this video we're going to be discussing Teardown and whether it is worth it to buy or not. And as always, like with all of our videos, for the ones who already know what this game is, I will not be wasting any more of your time and tell you whether it's worth it or not. And the answer is, well, yes, kinda, but only if you know exactly what this game actually is. So without further ado, let's just discuss that. So what is Teardown? Teardown is an early access game which in the past actually started as a destruction type of engine demo. It is a voxel based game which is similar to Minecraft, but unlike Minecraft, voxels here actually are much smaller, and the game is built around pure destruction. Everything in this game is destructible and everything is, well, kind of like a physics based. The game is still in early access, and genre wise, actually this game is a heist game. Yes, I bet you didn't know that. So game has actually a story where you are playing as, well, as a thief, and your goal is basically to steal a few things without actually being caught. You're thrown into different levels and your goal is basically to steal a few different things as fast as you can, because as soon as you will steal first thing, the alarm will go off, giving you only 1 minute to steal everything else and just run away from the level. And to be fair, this is what it is. Story-wise, this is exactly what it is. You have some text-based story, and it's very rudimentary, tacked on just to have a story. It's not a bad thing to have one, but yeah, it's not the main appeal of the game. The main appeal of the game is its pure destructibility. Yes, everything that you will see in the game is actually destructible to its minutest levels. And for that, you can use an arsenal of different tools that you unlock while you go through the campaign, and also a different type of vehicles. Yes, if you see a vehicle in the game, this vehicle is controllable. Everything from regular cars down to large cruise ships if you want, and even construction vehicles are fully operatable and you can use them for your own destruction needs. And you need to use all of those things in order to operate in the story, just to unlock as many weapons as you can. As you go through the story and as you unlock more and more missions, you actually gather some money, upgrade your equipment, and overall just having, well, better means to destroy. You start with a simple sledgehammer that can destroy, well, pretty weak structures and go up from there. You see, it sounds pretty rudimentary, right? Because it is. This game is all about that engine and destructibility that you can actually bring to this game. That's all there is. But all of this is actually altered and like amplified by the mods. Yes, game is fully supported by Steam Workshop, and you can just get a bunch of different mods to, well, expand your game even without even completing anything in campaign. Or you can actually use all of those mods and all of those additional weapons that you can get from the mods even in a campaign to just make your life a bit easier. The game has huge collection of mods ranging from different new buildings and maps and vehicles, ending by a bunch of different weapons. Let's say, for example, you can have a black hole gun and shoot and create a large black hole that will suck up everything around you. You can actually call an airstrike and literally control an airplane and just destroy everything that you can. You can even have an entire cities and you can, well, level it to the ground if you want. You can have a bunch of different vehicles and things like that. But all of this does not sound like a lot, right? Well, because it isn't. Game is extremely simple and there's not much in the game. But to be fair, game does not really need that. You see, this game is actually close to Universe Sandbox than, well, any other heist games. You are basically given the tools to do whatever you want, and in a story you are just given a goal just to do things for a certain, well, thing, other than just simple destruction of everything. That's just what it is. It is just made to have fun and play with the physics and destructibility of the game. And if you're ready for that and if you're okay with that, well, this game is actually pretty fun. You have literally thousands of mods that you can play, all of that, and that will basically transform game into 10 times more than it is. And it's actually pretty fun to play around with this. And this game is just that, sandbox that you can play around in. It's perfect game just to, well, spend some time when you're waiting for something and just to have a literal mindless and meaningless fun. That's all there is about this game. Because of the game's pure destructibility, you can do whatever you want with this. But the game is actually not as flawless physics engine as you might think. It actually has some flaws. As an example, if you have a large building, or if you have any building, and if you just cut entire building to the ground, if there is only one single block, a single pillar holding the building won't fall for some reason. You need to actually cut this building in its entirety for the building to fall. So the game is actually not as, well, ideal physics it wants to be. However, the game is still in early access, and there is a chance that such things will be actually fixed in very near future. But is it worth it though? Let's discuss the pricing of the game. So game is available on Steam for the base price of $19.99 for tier 1 country and $10.49 for tier 2 countries. And it can go as low as $15.99 for tier 1 countries and $8.39 for tier 2 countries. So is it worth it for these prices? Well, actually, yes, absolutely. If you are getting into this game just to have fun with the destructibility, and if you have decent enough PC, because this computer needs a little decent PC, which we're gonna discuss just in a second, you're gonna have more than enough fun from this. This game does not have a content of a full price game, and it's actually not trying to have this. It's actually not trying to show it like that as well. With a bunch of mods and the game constantly being updated by adding a bunch of optimization, by adding a bunch of new features, you are getting more than enough for the price that you're paying for it. And if you are just trying to weigh whether you can get 20 hours from this game for $20, then yes, absolutely. You may not just sit down and get all 20 hours in one or few goes, but eventually you're gonna get this. The game is insanely fun and addicting, and to be fair, I am seeing myself returning to this game over and over again between my game sessions just to have a little bit of fun. But I touch the heavy requirements of the game. And yes, as you may understand, this game is purely physics-based. You actually will need a little beefy computer to do so. You don't need a latest RTX graphics card in order to enjoy the game to the fullest, but you will need something around of a power of GTX at least 970 in order to enjoy this game. I have a GTX 980, which is not much more powerful than GTX 970, and to be fair, my gameplay was pretty smooth, unless I open really large map and start destroying a bunch of things all at the same time. Then I'm basically watching a slideshow. Yes, if you don't have a lot of debris, the game is pretty playable on, I'm pretty sure, even on the weaker graphics cards than that. But when you start destroying stuff and all of those small particles, like the fire particles that can actually spread, the smoke particles that actually spreads based on physics, and all those debris of the buildings will start falling out all around the place, yeah, you will start lagging insanely. So yeah, beware of that you will need at least GTX 970 or equivalent, or I can say that you will need somewhere something above GTX 1060 or 1660. Overall, this game is pretty fun and it's absolutely worth it if you're not looking at this as a game, and if you're just looking at it as a sandbox, just to waste your time in a good way. So yeah, I would absolutely recommend this game in that way. Well, this will be it for today. Thank you for being here with me. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. See ya.